Well, another sign of the faltering economy in California, a rising unemployment rate. But it's not alone. The Labor Department reporting today that the unemployment rate in 48 states, including California, rose in May. 12 states had jobless rates topping the national 9.4% rate, led by Michigan, 14.1%. California comes in fifth at 11.5%. Joining us now with more, Heidi Shierholz, labor market economist at the Economic Policy Institute. And I guess we should start off by explaining that the state data don't necessarily add up to the national data. They're released with a month's lag, but they give us a much more granular picture of what's happening in the states, correct?
That's right. And what we see is while that there are no regions that are escaping the grip of this recession, that some regions are really getting hit harder than others, including, as you mentioned, California.
Well, and Michigan, of course, is really being swamped by the whole troubles of the auto industry. But I'm surprised they're not at a record yet. They will be soon, I would assume. What about the Midwest in general? The Rust Belt that we saw suffer so much in previous recessions, is it the worst in the nation at this point?
So the Midwest is an interesting case. The Plains states are actually the best off states right now. So when you're looking at North Dakota, South Dakota, Nebraska, they're all doing really well relative to other states. But the eastern edge of the Midwest is really suffering. So any Midwestern states that have any connection at all to the auto industry are just getting slammed right now. So we're talking Michigan, Ohio, Indiana. They are really feeling the brunt of this.
Now, is that autos or manufacturing in general?
Manufacturing in general, but with a real concentration in autos and auto suppliers is driving the recession in those areas.
Now, what about in some of the other states, like California, that made the list of states hitting records? What's their problem?
California does have a lot of manufacturing, and then the other thing that's going on in California is that they were disproportionately hit by the collapse of the housing bubble. They had an enormous bubble. They've seen an enormous fall from that, and that's having ripples throughout the state.
All right, we have talked quite a bit about the ripples throughout California. We were just mentioning their big budget deficit. I presume these kinds of unemployment rates are also hitting the rest of the states, the other 48 that are seeing increases in unemployment. They've got to pay out those unemployment benefits and, in many cases, extended benefits now.
Well, the extended benefits are funded at the federal level, part of the stimulus package to expand unemployment insurance, to get benefits to the people who are hardest hit by this recession. So much of the tab for that is being picked up by the federal government, which is good because we know state budgets are really strapped right now. We don't want the states to act like 50 little Herbert Hoovers pulling against the actions the federal government is taking. So the federal government stepping in and helping with unemployment insurance benefits is a good move that's happening right now.
I know when we see states have particular problems, if an industry is leaving the state or something like that, there's a lot of talk about, well, we'll try to retrain the workers. Is this such a tsunami of people out of work that they really can't keep up with it? There's not much that can be done?
Yeah, we're not going to get out of this through job training. We just know all sectors of this economy are being hit hard. This is what an economy-wide crisis looks like. So we're going to have to act at the macro level to pull this out. Just training people for other jobs is not going to help when every sector is seeing dramatic declines right now.
Well, that suggests that the federal government may need to do more, in your view?
Yeah, I think the stimulus package that we passed in February was huge, nearly $800 billion. It was really well targeted. It was a good package. But when that stimulus package was passed, it was estimated that it will create or preserve 3.5 million jobs, and it will do that. But in March, before any of that stimulus package had been spent, we were already down over 7 million jobs. We were already more than twice. We had a hole twice as big as that stimulus package was ever intended to fill or ever capable of filling. So it was never enough, and we're going to need more. Now, there's the question of whether there will be political will for more, but that's a separate question. What the numbers show is that we absolutely need it.
All right. Thank you very much. Heidi Shierholz at the Economic Policy Institute.